Right, now, where the hell were we with this? Right, we just had that very long talk about time travel. Excellent. Okay. Yes, please load data. Alright, now, I want to double check the configuration. When it comes to sound, yes, because I want BGM to be minimum. It's still there, but I want it to be minimum. But I want the voice volume to be max.
俺は狼ではない。HOUOUIN KYOUMAだ。何度言わせればわかるのだ、クリスティーナ。
And I have to do that because... Okay. Where were we? Close this menu. I ended up listening to all of Kurisu's lecture at ATF. After the two time travel theories she introduced at the beginning, she explained the rest with equal eloquence. She seemed a little nervous at first, but that quickly changed as she spoke. By the end, it was an impressive lecture. So impressive that you wouldn't think it was an 18-year-old's first time. She did well to respond to my malicious questions with sarcasm. She's got guts. Wait, why am I praising her? Leaving that aside, I saw her dead. And yet, she is alive. How could this be? My memories don't mess with reality. And not just about Kurisu. My conversation with Daru and Mayuri didn't make sense either. Everything would be solved if I just told myself what I saw was a dream, an illusion. It never happened. But never say never. This leaves me with no choice. Oh. This part. After parting ways with Daru at ATF, I head to Yanabayashi Shrine. Again, very horrible at Japanese names. I need to get exercise. I seriously doubt that Mikasa Kurisu at ATF was a ghost. Regardless, it's natural to seek an exorcism after such an experience. I'm Japanese. It's in our blood. The shrine is located on the other side of the Kanda River. To find it, enter the first road after crossing the bridge. It's a very small shrine that doesn't fit with the surrounding multi-tenant buildings. There's a more famous shrine in Akiba, but I deliberately chose this one. This shrine is so small you could easily miss it if you weren't looking. Regardless, I can hear the chirping of cicadas from the few trees growing here. There are two girls standing in front of the main building. He just lied to you. One of them is Mayuri. The other is a docile-looking beauty in traditional Miko attire, Luka. A stunning example of feminine charm and grace. Lips delicate like cherry blossoms in bloom. The essence of Japanese beauty. The chief priest's son. That's right. Son. Lovely in every way. But he's a guy.
Okabe-san, konnichiwa.
He bows his head. The voice of a girl, the mannerisms of a girl. More feminine than any girl I know. But he's a guy. Taller than Mayuri, yet oh so slender. But he's a guy. Looks stunning in Miko robes. But he's a guy. Holding a bamboo broom, apparently in the middle of cleaning. But he's a guy. It's almost everything. It's almost evening, yet still hot as hell outside. But he's a guy. Damn cicadas won't shut up. But he's a guy. If you haven't noticed yet.
お前、俺が与えた刀はどうした?
He's a friend of mine. I call him Lukako. We met when I rescued him from some aggressive photographers in Akiba's pedestrian heaven. Yeah. It also so happens that Lukako and Mayuri are classmates. I learned that fact after I had gotten to know him. Lukako is taken aback by my sharp question. He starts fidgeting with a flustered face and tears in his eyes.
硫黄さみだれのことですよね。
そうだ。あれはお前の力を制御するために買ってやったのだぞ。
ああ、 秋葉の武器屋本舗で買ったやつでしょ。980円だっけ。
マユリ、それ以上言うと奴らに消されるぞ。この件については口を出すな。
I forgot how awesome this game is.
消されちゃうの？おかり、心配してくれてありがとう。でも奴らって誰かな？
I ignore Mayuri's question.
それでルカ子よ、妖刀さみだれはちゃんと使っているのか？
はい、1日1回は素振りを。
あれを持ち精神ざんまりを極めさえすれば、お前は己の内にある邪悪な炎に焼かれずに済む。
Only you can become the Dark Flame Master! The demon sword may be an imitation sword, but that is only the form it takes to hide from the world. When one worthy to wield it appears, it unleashes its true power. It was on sale for only 980 yen, tax included.
あんな素敵なものをプレゼントしてもらえて、岡部さんには感謝しています。
俺は岡部ではない。
おかりんだよ。
Thank you, Mayuri.
京馬さん。
分かればいいのだ。では合言葉を。
エルブサイコンガリュ
違う、コンガ流ではなくコングルーだ。
コングルー。
はい。エルブサイコングルー。これでいいですか？
Lukako smiles happily as I nod.
ありがとうございます。
Such a lovely smile. But he's a guy!
美しい師弟関係だね。へへへ。マユシーは不女子じゃないけど、ちょっとドキドキしてきちゃうよ。まゆりちゃん、変な想像しないで。
Jeez. Though we do have a master-disciple relationship, HOUOUIN KYOUMA have gone to great lengths to brainwash, teach Lukako about the evil conspiracies that rule the world and how to resist them. That's... Oh, nope. Fuck off. I don't want you. Closed. I don't want... There we go. Thank you. That stuff about Demon Sword is part of that training. Looks aside, Lukako is very obedient and hardworking. Plus, he's always eager to try new things. A master couldn't ask for a better disciple. Though he does have the weakness of not catching on too quickly and being too shy.
それでなぜマユリはここにいる？
ルカ君に会いに来たんだよ。来月のコミマでライネットのキラリちゃんコスをしてほしいってずっと頼んでるのに、ちっとも OK してくれないんだよ。だってコスプレするなんて僕恥ずかしいよ。でもルカ君は絶対似合うと思うんだ。こんな可愛い子が女の子のはずがないって大人気になるよ。ねえ、しようよ、コスプレデビュー。
Mayuri's hobby is making costumes. She's made at least 30 so far, but it's rare for her to wear one herself. Instead, she seems to get her kicks from seeing other people wear them. Now, I should probably fix my camera a bit. There we go. Just a tiny bit smaller. And it looks like she's chosen Lukako as her next target. Naturally, the costume Mayuri is currently raving about is for a female character. Normally, I would understand why a man wouldn't want to dress like a girl. But come on, Lukako has no problem wearing Miko robes. Why should cosplay be any different? But whatever. I have business to take care of.
そんなくだらないことは後でやるんだな。
マユシーにとっては大事なことだもん。
俺にとってはくだらないことなのだ。それよりルカ子よ、俺がこの神社を訪ねたのは他でもない。お祓いを頼みたいのだが、やってもらえないだろうか。
お祓いですか？だったらお父さんに。
あ、いや、そこまで大げさにしなくていい。気休めでいいのだ。
That's why I came here instead of Gando's
という
shrine.
わけで、例のあれを持ってこい。
例のあれと言いますと、サミダレですか？
違う。お祓いに妖刀は必要ないだろう。お祓いと言ったらあれに決まっている。正式な名称は分からんが、棒に白い紙がふさふさとついていて、神主がわさわさと振るやつだ。
It's that stick with the zigzaggy paper thingies that the priest does with shaky thingy with.
今のオカリンの説明、ゆとりっぽいね。
Quite a shock to hear that from Mayuri.
おほぬさですね。でも、お父さん貸してくれるかな。ちょっと聞いてきます。
Lukako makes a quick bow and then rushes off towards his house, which is on the shrine grounds. Meanwhile, Mayuri takes her pocket watch out of her bag to check the time. It's a very old watch, not the sort you'd expect a high school girl to carry. Its name is Pockety. Obviously, that's the name Mayuri gave it. It's not a brand name or anything. Ever since elementary school, Mayuri has carried Pockety with her everywhere. It's her most important treasure.
じゃあ、マユシーはこれからバイトだから、もう行くね。
そうか、頑張ってこい。バイトが終わったら直接帰るのか？
Mayuri lives in Ekibokuro. She comes to Akiba by train just about every day. It should be obvious that, since we're childhood friends and all, but I live in Akibokuro too. I've been staying at the lab since summer break
という
began.
わけで、また明日ね。
I call Mayuri to stop before she trots off.
マユリ、お前はあの時ラジカンで男の悲鳴を聞いたよな。
悲鳴？
Mayuri blinks several times and puts her fingers to her temple as in in thought. Blech. Then she gives her usual smile.
それっていつのこと？
今日の昼だ。
聞いてないかな。
そうか。わかった。
変なオカリー。じゃあね、トゥットゥルー。
Tuturu! Mayuri leaves, this time for good, though she pauses to wave at least a half dozen times before disappearing beyond the archway.
岡部さん、お待たせしました。
Lukako returns shortly after Mayuri leaves. In his hands is the white zigzaggy thing I asked for.
借りることができました。よかったです。あれ？まゆりちゃんは帰ったんですか？
マユリはどうでもいいから、今すぐお祓いを。
はい。僕でいいんでしょうか？そもそも何に対するお祓いを？
Lukako is flustered. Is he really up to this? I'm beginning to doubt. I should have known better. The instant doubt touches my heart, a terrible chill shoots up my spine.
俺に取り付いた悪霊が。
Oh no! It's the claw! No one can stop the claw! I grab my violently shaking wrist.
静まれ、悪霊よ。急げ、ルカコ。このままでは俺は。
そんな、岡部さん、しっかりしてください。
俺は岡部さんではない。
すいません、KYOUMAさん。でも僕、どうしたら？
お祓いを急げ。この前教えた通りにやればいい。
はい。
With a serious look on his face, Lukako grasps the Onyusa with both hands as if it were a sword. His stance is impressive. I have taught him well. His face is red, and he can barely talk. It looks like he wants to say something, but is hesitating. Panicking because he feels awkward? Amateur.
俺はお前を殺したくない。
Lukako starts crying. Looks like he's really worried. Reason tells me he's a guy, but his lovely appearance makes me feel guilty, like I made a frail girl cry. But despite the tears welling up in his eyes, it looks like Lukako managed to work up his resolve.
悪霊よ。
He raises the Onyusa up high, shaking it left and right.
じゃなくて、京馬さんから。
おい、いいぞ。そのまま俺の腕にふさふさを当てろ。
The tip of the Onyusa touches my upper arm. In an anime, this would be cue for some dramatic shockwave to occur, but nothing like that happens. The only sound is the chirping of cicadas.
ですか。
I take a deep breath. The trembling in my arm has stopped.
大丈夫だ。悪霊は去ったようだ。よくやったな、ルカ子。
Lukako sighs in relief and
お
blushes.
役に立ててよかったです。
His shy smile really does make him look like a girl. But he's a guy. After I get back to the lab, I take the broken TV down to Braun Tube Workshop for repairs. Daru and Mayuri have already gone home, so I have to carry the TV down the narrow staircase by myself. It's brutal, back-breaking work, but I manage. I push the workshop door open with my hips and head inside. The room is dimly lit by the setting sun, but the gloom is offset by the glare from the gigantic CRT in the middle of the room. A 42-inch CRT television. It doesn't seem like something you could get in modern Japan. With LCD TVs becoming the new standard, I seriously doubt anyone would want a bulky old CRT.
Oh, どうした岡部?
Sitting in front of the huge CRT is an equally huge man reading a sports newspaper. He's the workshop's manager, actually the owner of this whole building, Tenoji Yuogo. I call him Mr. Braun! It's a fitting name for someone who loves Braun tubes.
どうしたもこうしたもないですよ。あなたからもらったテレビが壊れた。
おめえ、俺のブラウン管を乱暴に扱いやがったな。
I barely managed to set the heavy TV on the
愛
counter.
が足りねえんだよ、愛が。
A muscle-bound bald guy talking about love. It sends shivers down my spine.
修理をお願いしたい。最優先だ。
相変わらず変な話し方だな、おめえって。
Mr. Braun begins investigating the cause of the problem. With nothing better to do, I look around the store. I don't know if it's just the dust hanging in the air, but something feels stagnant about this place. There are CRT screens everywhere. Numelu! Mayuri! I didn't want any of the other Jiro Froggies. I did want Fatty. But now I think about it, it wasn't really cute. Actually, it was kind of weird looking. Wonder why I wanted one so bad. Hey, I just realized Fatty kind of looks like Daru-kun. Ply. Do they even sell those anymore? Senda. Sendo! Okay. Cool. There are CRT screens everywhere. The haphazard layout makes them seem like junk, but they're all fictional, according to Mr. Braun. He's got a full range of both old and new. Some of them are probably older than me. There are even some flat screen and HD CRTs that came out just before LCDs took the market.
今日は遅くまでやっているんですね。普通だったら夜7時には店じまいでしょ。
The crowds in Akiba thin quickly at night. All the major electronic stores close around 8 or 9 o'clock. And then, as if the liveliness of the day was simply a lie, the town goes silent.
今日はこれから客が来るんでな。
客？例の小動物ですか？
おめえな、俺の愛しい娘を小動物呼ばわりするんじゃねえ。
The manager glares at me and takes a photo from his wallet. It's a picture of a young girl, shyly making a peace sign at the camera. One might assume that this muscle-bound man to be some kind of pervert, but that girl is actually his daughter. She's about 12 years old now, I think. His love for her is second only to his love for CRTs. Or was it the other way around? I see her in the store every now and then. What's her name again?
ナイに手出したらぶっ殺すからな。
That's it. Nai. A rare name that means to braid. She pops up at the store now and again, so we've interacted with her before. And by we, I mean Mayuri, since she's the only one Naya gets along with. Naya always hides when she sees me or Daru. I must admit I am impressed. She can sense my aura of madness at such an early age. Mr. Braun makes a grandiose kissing gesture at his daughter's photo. Once again, shivers down my spine.
しかし、娘以外でこの工房に客が来ることがあるんですか？
I've been renting the second floor for about 6 months, but I don't recall ever seeing a customer. I would be surprised if this place actually is making any money.
客っつうかなんつうか。
He puts away the photo and goes back to checking the TV, leaving me with that vague answer.
ああ、これは多分基盤のハンダ浮きだな。直せろぜ。
そうですか。ではよろしく。
待ってろ。見積もり書作ってやる。
金を取るのか？
当たり前だろ。払わねえつもりだったのか。
このテレビはあなたからもらったものだぞ。
だからなんだよ。アフターサービスまでタダでやってやるとは言ってねえぜ。
おのれ。寿命間近のオンボロを押し付けておいてその言い草とは。
うるせえな。だったら一つやってもいいんだぞ。家電リサイクル法で回収費ももらうけどな。
横暴だぞ。人類史の未来を変えるやもしれぬ男からたかろうとは。
ああ、それ誰のことだ？
俺のことに決まっているでしょう。
歯磨いて寝ろよガキ。そもそも2階をただ同然で貸してやってるこの俺にそういうこと言うとはいい度胸だな。
修理代は弾もう、ミスター・ブラウン。
Mr. Braun. In the end, I am no match for him. Just then, I hear the door open. I look up to see that a girl has entered the store. She's wearing a vintage jacket and tight shorts that highlight her long limbs and athletic figure. I find myself particularly impressed by her well-defined thighs.
Oha!
What's up?
Oh.
Suddenly, time stops. I feel it. Someone has activated Zawaldo!
あれ？
The girl is standing there with an arm in the air. Her smile gradually fades into confusion. What kind of reaction was she hoping for? Seriously. Anyway, is she the person Mr. Braun was expecting? Maybe she's someone he knows personally. Another daughter? Or, dare I say, his girlfriend? She finally drops her pose and clears her throat.
さっき電話したアマネです。
Amane. And just like that, time starts moving again.
ああ、バイトの面接したいって子な。俺が店長の天王寺だ。
バイトの面接だと？こんな若い女性が？この新規臭くておしゃれ感ゼロで繁盛もしておらず無才おっさんが店長のブラウン管工房にバイト希望だというのか？
おめえ、来月から2階の家賃1000円増しな。
俺は事実を言ったまでですよ。もっとも部外者が口を出す問題ではないが、しかしブラウン管工房がバイトを募集していたとはな。この暇さではその必要性を全く感じないのだが。
ああ、それは私が電話で無理って頼んだんです。
The girl looks a little embarrassed.
最初は断られたんだけどさ、店長さんにどうしてもお願いしますって。
That's honestly surprising.
今時珍しい若者がいたもんだよな。ま、そこの椅子に座んな、お嬢ちゃん。
失礼します。
Looks like they're going to have a formal interview. I was going to leave, but since Mr. Braun hasn't kicked me out, I'll stick around a bit longer. The girl's expression is stiff. I guess she's nervous. Just because of a part-time job interview. In contrast to how she said she would take no for an answer, she doesn't seem so enthusiastic.
名前は何だって？
天音鈴葉です。
年は？
18。
Same age as me.
学生？
ううん。
She shakes her head.
なんでうちで働きたいんだ？
ブラウン管が好きだから。
採用。明日から来い。
それでいいのか？というかこれはコントか？もしかして仕込みか？
ありがとう、店長さん。
Finally, Amane seems to relax. Then she looks at me.
ところでさ、君は誰？
俺のな聞きたいというのか。いや、やめておけ。それを知ることでお前にも最悪が降りかかるかもしれん。これまでも多くの人が俺の名を知ったことで機関に狙われた。アメリカのサラ、イタリアのクラウディア、フランスのシモーヌ。これ以上誰かを危険な目に遭わせるわけには。
おい、アホな妄想してんじゃねえよ。
He just doesn't understand my pain.
このバカ男は2階に間借りしてる岡部倫太郎ってんだ。
岡部ではない。俺はHOUOUIN。
うるせえ。家賃さらに1000円上乗せするぞ。
岡部倫太郎だ。
This girl stands up, places her hand on my shoulder, and looks at me with a serious expression.
君を狙ってるその期間ってのが何なのかわかんないけど、もし困ってんなら私に相談して。岡部倫太郎、そういうの慣れてるからさ。
Oh, can you?
は？
Stuff like what?
場合によっては手段を選ばず痛めつけてやることも可能だし。
ミスター・ブラウン、彼女は採用しない方がいいと思う。
ああ、物騒だな。騒ぎ起こしたらクビにするからな。そもそもその期間なんたらは岡部の創作だから本気にすんな。
創作？
せいぜいそう思ってるがいいさ。
But someday, the world will kneel before me. And then, Amane Susaha stares straight at me again. Maybe she has a habit of looking people in the eye.
そういうのが流行ってんだ。勉強になったよ。
Trend? I don't think so.
暑い。
Oh, I have new mail. When did I get this? Are you real okay with using exorcism? I feel like a more traditional ceremony would have been better. I'm worried something might happen to you because my exorcism wasn't strong enough. It bothers me so much I can't sleep at night. Because of that, I couldn't do more than 3 practice swings. What? Don't worry, thanks to your exorcism, my arm item has been quiet for a while. Still, there's no telling what could send it off. If I'm forced to do battle again, let's play the organizations for assassins do not find me. Send. Cool. So hot. I was at university all morning. As I returned to occupy, the heat is now becoming unbearable. I grab an iced coffee at the bakery inside to quench my thirst. While I'm at it, I guess I'll check out A channel on my phone. I mostly frequent the occult board, the future technology board, and sometimes the physics board. I've searched for threads on mass disappearance phenomena or Mikasa Kirisu's stabbing, but turn up nothing. So were those hallucinations after all? When I peek at the occult board, I find posts in multiple threads from someone claiming to be John Titor. Wait. John Titor is back? John Titor appeared on American BBS 10 years ago, claiming to be a time traveler. Fun fact, outside of context, this is true information. He claimed to have traveled from the year 2036 in order to obtain an old computer, the IBM 5100. His claims started quite a storm among the BBS denizens. Titor also made several accurate, if fragmentary, predictions of future events. The start of the Iraq War and the spread of the Jacob's disease, for example. To prove he was from the future, he explained the principles behind his time machine and provided pictures of its operation manual. but after about 4 months, he disappeared without ever revealing his identity. And at one point, his predictions gained popularity even in Japan. Yes, he certainly did get some things right, but on the other hand, he missed several others. Some of his posts contradicted each other too. That's why, to this day, most people doubt his authenticity as a time traveler. So after 10 years of silence, that same John Titor is now on a Japanese BBS? Yes, apparently so. Trolling has been added to tips. Ridiculous, it's obviously a troll. First of all, John Titor is American, yet now he's posting on a channel in Japanese. Let's take a look at his posts. I don't expect you to believe that I came from the year 2036. I see that everyone would like to know more about my time machine. Time travel technology was developed by CERN. They completed the first time machine in 2034. Time traveler, lol. John Titor, lol. More details on the time machine. Do they sell time machines? How much do they cost? I've got about 100 million yen saved. Can you send me one? CERN has a monopoly on time machines. Not even the most powerful nations of Earth can acquire one, to say nothing of private citizens. CERN used their time machine for power. By 2036, the world has become a dystopia. There is no war, no conflict. However, that false peace founded on the principle on the complete eradication of liberty. What does LOL mean? Why did you come to this time? Was the Occupy satellite crash your doing? Wait, guys, Turo-san doesn't understand A-channel lingo. Let's keep it simple, okay? If you know what I mean. Get a trip code, asshole. I came here to change my present, in other words, your future. My mission is to destroy CERN's dystopia and restore freedom to the world. This is an awful time you're living in. Everyone is free. But you will all lose that in just 20 short years. It is vitally important that you understand what the future has in store. What is a trip code? I might get one if you tell me what that is. You said only CERN has time machines. You have a time machine. That means you're working for CERN. Therefore, your goal can't be to destroy CERN's dystopia. You're a fraud. QED. What's a dystopia? How can CERN take over the world in 20 years? Look at the Middle East. You've been reading too much manga if you think that you can get those guys to stop killing each other. Who asked you to change the future? Are you trying to play God? If they're promising world peace, then I, for one, welcome our new CERN overlords. My time machine is a prototype reversed engineered from stolen CERN technology. Compared to their time machine, its capabilities are quite limited. In 2036, the world is ruled by a single all-powerful governing body. They control every aspect of our lives, deciding what we will eat, where we will live, and whom we will marry. There is no privacy and no choice. Anybody who dares oppose them is eliminated. There are no trials. In movies and stuff, small changes to the path cause huge changes to the future. You've already changed the present by coming here. What happens if you make unexpected changes to the future? Implying CERN rules the world. Do you even know what CERN is, lol? Op is a troll. So if you find his dad and kill him, then his time traveler will never be born and we won't have to listen to this bullshit. Am I right? I want to know if you can meet your past self. Can you have self-cest? Oh my god. You're talking about the so-called grandfather paradox. That has been debunked. This world line has a divergence of 0.571024% compared to the world line I came from. Killing my father would alter divergence, creating a world line where my father is dead. However, it would not erase this world line. I would go on existing. CERN is a particle physics research institution that hasn't changed in 2036. It is possible to meet your past self. The prevailing theory in my time is that nothing would happen. I, however, haven't met my past self. If you're really a time traveler, then fucking prove it. Post time machine pics or GTFO. The many worlds interpretation? Whoa, slow down, bro. Research institution taking over the world. LOL, what? I do not feel the need to prove that I am what I say I am. I am only posting these messages on the whim. My mission comes first. What are world lines? Can you meet yourself from another world line? What happens if you do? Late reply. A trip code is a way to identify posters. Put password after your name. LOL, backpedaling. World lines are an infinite number of rivers flowing in parallel. Along the way, they constantly branch out into new world lines. This is called divergence. For example, whether or not you post this on this message board has practically no effect on this world line's divergence. But if you were murdered, let's say, the divergence would change. However, it would only change by about 0.2%, if that. A single human being's death is not terribly significant on a global scale. Wars, disasters, acts of terrorism, and other events that cause widespread death and destruction have a much greater effect on divergence. Thanks for telling me about trip codes. I'll make sure to use one from now on. I'm starting to get tired, so let's pick this up again tomorrow. It's been fun talking to everybody. Looks like they've already made an archive of these threads. Of course, there have been sites dedicated to John Titor for years now. This post closely resembles what the original John Titor wrote 10 years ago. I've read one of the books on Titor. That's how I know. This new John Titor is clearly an imposter. There are many Titor fanatics on A-Channel. He's not exactly a household name in Japan, but I doubt anyone would fail for this level of trolling. Fall for this level of trolling. Damn it. As I continue to read, however, I find the response the opposite of what I expected. Everyone is accepting this time traveler as if this was his first appearance. Nobody has even mentioned his appearance 10 years ago. Finding this strange, I tried posting a retort, but everyone ignores me. What the hell? You can't figure this out if you do a little research, people. Oh, you can. There's an original John Titor thread archived in English and plenty of Titor blogs in Japanese. I entered John Titor's name into the search engine. 12 matches. Wait, only 12? Moreover, all 12 are about the current Titor's posting on A-Channel? I can't find a single trace of the Titor from 10 years ago. Bizarre. This just can't be. I searched for information on Titor a few years ago. Back then, I got tens of thousands of hits. Is this search engine filtered? I try searching on another site just to make sure, but it gives the same result. What is this madness? What is this madness? This is Titor! Kick. It feels like I've stumbled into another plane of reality. Could this be another organization conspiracy? These past 2 days I've been surrounded by nothing but chaos and confusion. I'll call Daru. He'll know about Titor for sure. After all, I've talked to him about Titor before. I only vaguely remember the details of that conversation, but I am positive the conversation happened. By the time I dig my phone out of my bag, I no longer feel like making the call. Instead, I send him an email on my way back to the lab. He replies with his location. By May Queen, he means May Queen plus Nyen 2 squared. A maid cafe. Daru's a regular there. Apparently 3D cat maids are his thing too. May Queen Nyen squared is only a 3-minute walk from the lab. Coming from take a left at the crossing and you'll find it. That's where I'm headed now. It's unusually busy for Akiba during the summer break, but now it's even busier because of the Radio Kaikan incident. The area was blocked off yesterday, but it doesn't look like they could keep the main road closed for 2 days straight. I haven't seen a single police officer today. But the Radio Kaikan building still seems off limits. The entrance shutters are closed and sealed with yellow police tape. We're here now in Akihabara the day after the unexplained satellite crash. The police barricade has been lifted and a tremendous number of people have gathered in front of the station. The satellite's origin is still under investigation. We are told that it can't be removed until the authorities have more information. According to the police, the satellite does not appear to be dangerous. However, tourists and local business owners have raised concerns. The media has dozens of cameras set up outside the police line. And there are nearly twice as many onlookers as reporters. Enough to fill the entire street with people. Everyone aiming their phone cameras at the satellite-like object. So many people. Living in Akiba, you get used to crowds and big events, but a gathering of this size is unusual. I wonder when they'll get rid of that thing. I hope it doesn't explode or something. They've been letting people back into the area, so I guess there's no danger. Still, considering its unknown origin, I'm surprised there isn't more security. Today, like always, otaku are shopping for doujinshi, import games, electronics, or whatever strikes their fancy. Aside from the scene at Radio Kaikan, it's the same as any other day. But I still don't understand what I saw yesterday. I've half accepted that the mass disappearance was just my imagination. Maybe I've become unable to distinguish reality from fantasy, like the media likes to say about teenagers these days. With that thought in mind, I return my gaze to the street. And there in front of me stands a woman holding her phone in front of her face. She took a picture. Her phone was clearly pointed at me. I tried to cover my face, but not quickly enough. I turned around just to make sure that she wasn't pointing it at someone behind me, but that doesn't seem to be the case. She's still staring at her phone. Without even glancing at me, she turns around and points her phone at some other pedestrian. Maybe she's just taking photos of everyone at the scene, and not just me. But still, I need to have a word with her. The organization is after me, so I can't risk that photo getting out. She doesn't turn around. She's so engrossed in her photography that she doesn't even notice me? Or did she not catch my magnificent native-level English?
ちょっとそこで携帯カメラを使っているあなた待ってください
She turns back, finally noticing me. And of course, her phone turns with her.
ってよせ通るんじゃないまさか機関の差し金か
She completely ignores my objection. And then she goes back to looking at her phone.
質問に答えてもらいたいんですがねあなたは機関の人間か
If she is, I may have to take suitable measures.
違うのか違うとしても問題がありますよ俺の写真を持っていると機関に知られればあなたにも奴らの魔の手が伸びるかもしれないとにかく今撮った俺の写真を即刻削除してほしい
Lady ignoring me. I like that name. Sorry. Is she even listening?
謝る
Wow, she finally speaks. Just a whisper. But it's
不
something.
快にさせたなら
Lady who apologized out of nowhere. She lowers her head slightly in a bow. Or at least, I think it's a bow. She's been looking down all this time, so I can't really
謝
tell.
るより先に写真を削除してほしいわけだが
風景撮ってた
Her fingers dance across her phone's keys with impressive speed, exactly the opposite of her annoyingly slow speech pattern.
風景を撮っていた観光客
Or is she one of those people who came to see the satellite? In that case, why does she take a picture of me? She shakes her head without looking at
証
me.
明自分が今日どこを歩いたか
変なやつだな
桐生萌か
ん
名前
I guess she's introducing herself. That's nice, but I want her to delete that photo.
聞きたいことがある
それより写真を
都市伝説秋葉原の知らない
An urban legend? What is she talking about? Don't tell me there is a brilliant but insane mad scientist said to be lurking in Akihabara? And now, that brilliant but insane mad scientist is the target of every assassin in the underworld?
俺はこの町に長く言い過ぎたのかもしれんだがそろそろ潮時か
Hold on. Apparently I'm dropping frames like a motherfucker. I don't know why. I don't think I could change anything. Can I? Yeah, alright, I'm gonna drop the bitrate down a bit. So, Twitch is kind of being a dick, apparently, so I need to drop down the bitrate by quite a bit. Down to basically a third of what it was. Alright, I'm gonna turn it off and turn it back on then, I guess. Oh, wait, no, there we go. There we go. It's picked up. It's good. It's back to being good. It's back in the green. I'll just give it a sec. And, yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. So, hopefully, okay, so we should be fine now. We're all fine. We're fine here now. How are you? Anyway, back to the game. Akihabara. You weren't such a bad town. I'm glad that...
幻のレトロ PC
レトロ PC
She replies with a nod. Or something like a
秋葉原
nod.
のどこかにあるらしくてそれが
そうか
Nothing about a mad scientist. I'm relieved, but also disappointed. At any rate, this is the first I've heard about a Phantom Retro PC.
幻のレトロ PC というとキュッパチあたりか
That's the first model that comes to mind. But are 98s really that hard to find? She shakes her head slightly. Or something like a shake.
いいえ、これ。
She turns her phone towards me. The screen shows an oddly shaped computer. It's hard to tell since the picture's monochrome, but it looks like some kind of PC. It looks kind of familiar.
IBN 5100。
An IBN 5100.
ジョン・タイターが手に入れようとした PC か。
Her fingers twitch. I think.
見たことは？
ない。名前を知ってるぐらいだ。
Coincidence? I think not!
これもシュタインズゲートの選択かもしれん。
詳しい人知らない？
ダルンならば詳しく知っているかもな。そいつは俺のマイフェイバリットライトアームであるスーパーハッカーでな。MI6 の中枢にすらハッキングできる実力の持ち主なのだ。
Sure. The MI6 part is a slight exaggeration. If that ever did happen, Men in Black would break down our door and take us away. But the super hacker part is true. The depth of his computer knowledge is uncanny. Speaking of Daru, I'm supposed to meet him at May Queen plus Nyan squared. I don't have time to stand and chat with some crazy lady I don't know.
女よ。メディアスクラムもほどほどにな。
I try to make a smooth exit. One-liner and everything, but she grabs my sleeve before I can disappear into the crowd.
何をする？
メルアド教えて。
何が狙いだ？
スーパーハッカーの。
I guess she wants to hear Daru's story. It's my fault for mentioning him. Well, I'm meeting up with Daru, so why don't I just take her along? No. Wait a second. This could be a devious trap. Maybe she's really a spy sent to kidnap Daru. I'm defenseless without him. My only other ally is Mayuri, whose skills amount to costume design.
断る。今ダルを失うわけにはいかん。
I skip past her and start walking faster. I glance back. She's following me. I pick up the pace, but she's still chasing me.
俺の後ろを歩くな。
Unperturbed, she shows me her phone again. On the screen is the picture of me that she took.
まだ削除していなかったのか？
教えてくれたら削除する。
この俺を脅すとは。貴様、何者だ？
I attempt to glare her into submission, but her eyes are already lowered. My glare is ineffective!
私は
She hesitates for a
ア
second.
ークリライトのバイト。
なんだそれは。
ヘンプロ秋葉原にある。
One of those companies that writes articles for magazines. Is this gloomy lady really fit for that kind of work?
貴様、俺の写真を無断で記事にするつもりだな。
The mad scientist of Akiba unveiled! I can see the headlines now. That's all the organization will need to turn Akiba into a sea of blood. No. I must avoid that gruesome outcome at all costs. I have no choice.
交換条件に乗ろう。
At any rate, as long as she has that photo, I have no way of knowing how it might be used. I pull up my email address and show it to her. Looking back and forth from my phone to hers, she enters my info with terrifying speed.
そうか。この女、能力者か。
Of course. I dub her power Shining Finger! Her magical thumb types cursed emails at 255 characters per minute. Whoever receives one dies. She's done typing my address. It took all of 5 seconds.
名前は
HOUOUIN KYOUMA。マッドサイエンティストだ。
どう書くの？
フェニックスの鳳凰に意味、そして凶悪なる真実。
は？
フェニックスの鳳凰に意味、そして凶悪なる真実だ。
I repeat my perfect explanation. This is the origin of my true name. Explaining the in part of HOUOUIN would take too long, so I left it out. She enters my name in her head, tilted to one side.
こう
なんだこれは、ふざけるな。俺のマナをバカにするつもりか。
HOUOUIN KYOUMA. She lowers her head a little more, an apologetic bow,
なら
I
ば携
guess.
帯を貸せ。俺が入力してやる。
She shakes her head, clutching her phone with both hands as if to protect it from me. Like a spoiled child who can't let go of a toy, she shields it from me with all of her might. What does she think I'm going to do? Her reaction is a little depressing. Anyway, she's obviously not going to hand her phone over, so I ask for her address instead. I'll send her a blank email. She told me her name a few minutes ago, but I forgot it already. So I enter her as Shining Finger! What am I doing standing here in the middle of the street? Let's hurry up and send her blank email. I don't need to type anything. It's just to give her my name. I already put her name in the contrast. Just send an email to Shining Finger. She frowns while looking at her own phone. And then she glances my way. I can feel those eyes clearly saying, hurry up. But I'm hesitant. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to give her my true name. But regardless of how long I hesitate, I don't think she'll let me go until I send her the email. She sure is persistent. Looks I have no choice but to send the email. We've exchanged a few words and then I get away from her as fast as I can.
おかえりなさいませ、ご主人様。
I open the door to the Maid plus Nyan Squared May Cafe and two familiar cat-eared girls greet me with smiles.
おかりんだ。
One of them is Mayuri. Whoops. But here, she's called Mayushi Nyan Nyan. Since she works here, I stop about twice a month. I guess that would make me a regular customer. Zing! Actually, I've never been to any other Maid
おか
Cafe.
り、おかえりなさいませ。
After bowing again, Mayuri gasps as if she thought of something.
ねえねえ、おかり、まゆしは今気づいたんだけどね。おかりんとおかえりって似てるね。
Whatever.
今日もよく来たにゃん。ゆっくりしていってね。
The other maid who came to greet me, Ferris Nyan Nyan, her professional name of course, hits me with her trademark combo attack of cute cat-like gestures. She's May Queen plus Nyan Squared most popular maid. Even though she and Mayuri are about the same age, she looks and acts a bit younger.
ダルニャンも来てるにゃん。待ちぼうけしてるにゃん。
Daru frequents this cafe because he's got a crush on Ferris. He often reads her public blog while muttering, "Ferris, you're so cute," to himself. He's got it real bad. I kept telling him to choose either 2D or 3D, but he just doesn't listen. I also have trouble dealing with this cat girl. I asked Mayuri-chan about what it is you're fighting against, but she just laughed and didn't answer. What should I do? I want to help. You don't need to know. Not yet. Eventually, if Steins Gate so chooses, you will learn the truth whether you are ready or not. Send Meiru. Meiru Sento. I also have trouble dealing with this cat girl. She always finds a way to best me.
今日も期間打倒のための極秘会議かにゃ。
ああ、そんなところだ。
フェイリスも混ぜてほしいにゃ。
やめておけ。猫耳メイドが太刀打ちできるほど期間は甘くない。
そんなことないにゃ。フェイリスにはあの非奥義があるのにゃ。きっとお役に立てるにゃ。
何？あの非奥義、ついに得得したのか？
そうにゃ。ギアナ高地での修行に耐え抜き、師匠の死も乗り越えて、フェイリスはついに手に入れたのにゃ。
This sounds like a very bad shonen. What mentor? Ferris knows my true name. HOUOUIN KYOUMA. I also told her all about the organization. And now she's more into it than I am. She's always the one to bring up the subject whenever we meet. By the way, this is the first time I've heard of this secret technique, or whatever it is.
だから今日約束通りフェイリスも精霊会議に参加させてほしいにゃん。
Ugh, she's not letting it go. It'll take 30 minutes if I play along with her.
お前サンクチュアリに行くというのか。ダメだ。いくら非奥義を得得したとはいえ、あの場所はお前にはまだ早すぎる。
そんな約束したにゃ。にゃのに京馬は裏切るっていうのかにゃ。それにあの場所にはフェイリスのお兄ちゃんが。
Since when do you have a brother? And what the hell is this spirit conference anyway? Ferris looks at me with actual tears in her eyes. I felt her, even though I know it's just one of her cutesy acts. Whenever I talk with her, I run out of comebacks, which is really unusual for me. And then she takes the initiative, leaving me with nothing to do but listen to her fantasies. I mean, come on, you can only take it so far. There's a very clear difference between her stories and mine. As anyone can see, I speak nothing but the truth, while Ferris has only delusions and made-up backstory. I always have to play along. That's why I feel like I can never best her.
なんかわからないけど、マユシーもサンクチュアリっていうところに行きたいな。
Great. Now look who's joined in. It's just going to get worse from here. I have to end this conversation now.
来なくていい。この話はもう終わりだ。
京馬だけずるいにゃ。そうだよ。マユシーもフェリスちゃんもダメなんてね。オカリンは冷たいと思うのです。
フェリスとは誰だ？
フェリスちゃんはフェリスちゃんだよ。ねえ。
Mayuri and Ferris look at each other and smile. Is she talking about this Ferris? Is that her real name? Have I been mistaken all this time? That's a disturbing thought.
マユシーは言いにくいからフェリスちゃんって短くしてるんだ。
なんだそういうことか。
Oh, so that's it.
なんだか女学院みたいでそれも悪くないにゃ。
Okay then. Moving
いい
on.
からさっさと案内してくれ。俺はいつまでここに立っていればいいんだ。
ごめんなさいにゃ。ご主人様ご案内にゃ。マユシーご案内よろしくにゃんにゃ。
Table for two.
任せてにゃんにゃ。
If you hadn't noticed, the cat-eared maids here at Maid Queen plus Nyan squared are required to add cat sounds, nyas and yans, to their words with some frequency. Mayuri takes my hand and leads me inside. Apparently, Mayushi Nyan is the only one who leads customers by the hand like this. It probably comes naturally to her. She doesn't even realize the effect it has on her customers. And that's why she's second to Ferris in popularity at this maid cafe. She guides me to Daru's table. The tables are already about 60% full. Among Akiba's maid cafes, Maid Queen plus Nyan Squared's popularity is solid, but not booming. Considering what Ferris and the others are wearing, it's more like a cosplay cafe than a maid cafe. Furthermore, the cat ears and Nyanian's dialect make it less accessible to low-level otaku and first-timers. On the other hand, those same cat ears are a topic of heated debate among die-hard maid cafe fans. Maids don't have cat ears. Cat ears plus maid equals 2x moe. These two viewpoints clash. This place is one of the older maid cafes in Akihabara, but it doesn't get much media exposure. Maybe that's what makes it more comfortable than most. At least, that's what Daru says. He talks about this stuff so much that it's been burned into my synapses.
ダルくん、オカリンが来たにゃ。
遅すぎでしょマジで。
Daru sits in front of me, but doesn't look my way. He looks upset for some reason.
それで今フェイリスタンと何を話していたか詳しく。
聞きたいのか？どうせダルには理解できない話だと思うが。
Hell, even I didn't get most of it.
ああ、そっち系の話か。フェイリスタンとオカリンの会話は普通のオタじゃついていけない領域に達してるよな。 二人だけの固有結界張りやがって。許さない。絶対にだ。
フェリスちゃんもオカリンのこと気に入ってるみたいだにゃ。お店の子、お店に来るご主人様たち、みんな含めてフェリスちゃんのお話についていけるのはね、オカリンだけだもんにゃ。
I'm not even close to keeping up with her.
そんなオカリンに嫉妬。なんという勝ち組。
嘘で塗り固めた女になど興味はない。
今日のお前が言うなすれはここですか。
黙れ浮気野郎めが。二次元の嫁が泣いているぞ。
ぐはー、痛いところ疲れたっす。
Daru theatrically grabs his chest and falls onto the table. I slip from one of the glasses of I sip from one of the glasses of water that Mayuri brought to our table.
で、ご主人様、ご注文はお決まりですかにゃ。
オムライス、それとホットコーヒー、ブラックで。
かしこまりましにゃんにゃん。
After taking my order, Mayuri finds her way towards the counter as if swimming between the rows of tables. I hope she doesn't trip.
で、僕になんか用事だった？
Daru asks without getting up from the table. That's right. In my confrontations with Shining Finger and Catgirl, I almost forgot my original objective.
あと1時間ぐらいしたらラボに行くつもりだったんだけど。
内密で緊急の話があるのだ。
I lean on the table and scan the area without moving my head.
ジョン・タイターは知っているよな。
ジョン・タイター？誰？
アメリカに10年ほど前に現れた自称未来人だ。お前とは以前こいつの話題をしたはずだぞ。
またオカリンのいつもの設定？
設定とか言うな。俺が話すことは全て真実だ。
はあ、めんどくせえ。じゃあ付き合ってやるけどさ、そのタイターってやつが未来人だっていうソースは？
待て、なんでそんな初耳のような言い方をする？
事実初耳だから。
Seriously, bro.
忘れたわけではなく？
自信はないけど。
日本でもそいつに関する本が出ている。
その本を見せてくれたら思い出せるかも。
本当に何も知らないのか？
人の記憶力なんて結構曖昧なもんしょ。デジタルと違ってさ。
This is wrong. I remember talking to Daru about John Titor back in high school. It was only idle talk, so it's possible Daru forgot about it. Daru is quite the internet addict, but the internet lets you choose what information you want to see. There's no guarantee Daru looked up info on John Titor. If he had, I doubt he would have forgotten so completely. Is it my memories that are mistaken? Or everybody else's?
だったら IBN5100 については？
へえ、オカリンがそんな PC を知ってるなんてね。やるじゃん。
知っているんだな。
IBN が1975年に発売したモデルっしょ。
That's right. That's what Giant Tunta said on A Channel. He traveled to 1975 first, obtained an IBN 5100, then leaped to 1998.
どんな PC なんだ？
値段高すぎの PC だな。黎明期だったからすげえ高くて、個人には手が出せなかったらしい。IBN の独自技術が詰まった、その当時にしては結構優秀な PC だったんだけどね。IBN は6年後の1981年に IBN-PC っていう大ヒットシリーズを発売してて、そっちの方が有名なわけ。つうか僕も IBN5100 の知識はネットのウィキを見たことがあるぐらいだぞ。
それが現在の秋葉にあるという都市伝説を聞いたことは？
おうあるある。1ヶ月前ぐらいにネットで話題になったな。で、その噂を聞きつけたアットちゃんの有志が秋葉中のショップを探して回ったんだよ。フレパラのフレンドにゲジネって人がいるんだけど、その人が中心になってね。あの疾風陣雷のナイトハルトまで出張ってきたらしいけど、結局見つからなかったんだって。
じゃあ都市伝説はデマだったということか？
さあ知らねえ。秋葉にはアンダーグラウンドなショップがたくさんあるし、案外どっかの怪しいショップにひょっこり転がっててもおかしくないんじゃね？
Apparently there are some streaming issues again. I'm back in the red and dropping frames constantly. Why is this happening? Oh, that's why. Because these changes won't accept until you start streaming next. Okay, so I'm going to turn it off, then turn it back on. Literally 2 seconds. Like, not even 2 seconds, because we're done. We're back. Ugh. Okay, back. The system is all green. And we're going to continue on.
ふむ。なるほど。
My phone suddenly starts vibrating. A message from Shining Finger! Fuck off, Logitech. Okabe-san, I mailed you as soon as I could. My name is Kiru Moeka. I am 20-year-old freelance editor. I believe I mentioned I work part-time at Arc Rewrite. Sorry for taking your picture. It wasn't on purpose. I needed some shots of Akihabara for work, and you just happened to be in one of them. Actually, to tell you the truth, I was hoping to sneak some shots of the satellite. LMAO. By the way, the picture I took was just a test shot, not the final shot. That's why I was using my phone. Even if you haven't begged me to delete it, I wouldn't have posted it, so don't worry. Anyway, I should get to the point. I'm really sorry for asking this, Okabe-kun, but it would be super great if you could ask your friend, the super hacker, about the IBM 5100. I don't really know anything about computers, especially old computers. All I have to go on is that picture I showed you. I'll attach the image. Be absolutely positively sure to reply, okay? I'll be waiting. And if you could, I'd be super happy if you could give me your super hacker friend's email address. I'll mail you again. It's okay to mail you again, right? Of course it is. There's the image again. Oh, come on. What's with this mail? Disregarding the weird timing. Is this really the gloomy, unsociable woman I met in front of Radio Kaikan? She's like a completely different person in this email. Does she have a split personality or something? Well, I got some info on the IBM 5100, so I guess I should give her a reply. But if I send an immediate reply to a woman I just met, won't I come off as clingy and desperate? HOUOUIN KYOUMA, will not be taken lightly. This is my chance to make her understand which one of us is the superior human being. And above all, I have yet to ascertain if she can be trusted. She might start harassing me if I reply the wrong way. And besides, she hasn't proven that she's not working for the organization. Nonetheless, it couldn't hurt to tell her what I have learned from Daru. To discourage her, of course. Let's ignore it. This is out of kindness.
待たせたな、ダル。それで、一つだけ確認したいんだが。
I scan the area with my eyes once more. Then I lean in close.
IBN 5100は世界滅亡の引き金になるアイテムなんだな。
なんでだよ。引き金にはならないし、世界滅亡もしないっつうの。
にゃに？世界滅亡しちゃうのかにゃ？
Ferris brings my omelet rice. She's doing her cat-like gestures while keeping the tray balanced on one hand. True feline agility. Despite her nyan-nyanian nonsense, Ferris is the consummate professional.
ご主人様、お待たせしましたにゃんにゃん。オムライスにゃん。
The cat girl puts the omelet rice on the table and then takes a bottle of ketchup from her apron pocket. She's at the right. The world is doomed! In red letters upon the omelet's blank yellow caravans.
世界滅亡前にどうぞ召し上がれ。
うお！世界がやばいきたー！フェイリスさんの丸文字の可愛さに僕もやばい。
It appears the cuteness has shattered Daru's sanity. I give him a look that says, calm down, but to no avail. I smooth out the ketchup with the bottom of my spoon, erasing the ketchup words.
もったいない。
I'm going to eat it either way.
ダルニャンダルニャン、フェイリス杯の件考えてくれたかにゃ？
ああ、もちろん。僕も参加します。
フェイリス杯？なんだそれは。
I take a mouthful of omelet rice.
次の日曜日にこの店でライネットの大会をやるのにゃ。
Farrah starts dancing in place. I prefer she not jump around like that when people are eating
フ
nearby.
ェイリスはその幹事であり実行委員長、つまり言い出しっぺなのにゃ。よかったら今日も参加するにゃ。参加費はドリンク込みで1000円。フェイリスに勝てた人には商品として手作り料理を振る舞うにゃ。
無理無理。オカリンはライネットには詳しくないんだ。
にゃー、面白いのに。
いいんだ、俺は。
I stop shoveling the omelet rice into my mouth. I then deliver a melancholy
ライネ
sigh.
ットアクセスバトラーズか。その名を聞くたびチャンピオンだったあいつのことを思い出す。いや、なんでもない。今のは忘れてくれ。
にゃにゃ、すっごーく思わせぶりな態度だったのにゃ。あいつって誰にゃ？
多分存在しないんじゃね？ライネットって公式大会が始まったのは1年前ぐらいだし。
キョウマ、あの人のことまだ忘れられないのかにゃ。
は
確かにあの頃、あの人フェイリスのお兄ちゃんとキョウマはとっても仲が良くて、フェイリスも嫉妬しちゃうぐらいだったにゃ。
Damn it, she took my story and ran with it again. I never said anything about him being her brother. Hell, I don't know if Ferris even has siblings. I shouldn't have talked about stuff like this in front of Ferris.
でもいい加減思い出にばかりすがるのはやめるにゃ。
Her shout resounds through the store. A finger snaps at
フェイ
me.
リスは辛くても辛いからこそお兄ちゃんの意志を継いでライネッターになったんだにゃ。覚えてるかにゃ、お兄ちゃんがいつも言ってた言葉。いつかライネットで世界に平和をもたらそうって。
フェイリス、コーヒー持ってきて。
にゃにゃ。
I present my empty plate to Ferris. I always eat quickly. It's a habit I picked up naturally during my years on the run from the organization. Screw the slow food trend.
かしこまりましたにゃ。少々お待ちください。
Ferris takes the dish and heads back to the counter. Phew. If I'd let things going the way they were, I would have had to play along for another 10 minutes in her fantasy
フェ
world.
イリスタンは知る人ぞ知る実力派ライネッターなんだぜ。
Daru explains with a wise smile.
非公式の野良試合では400戦無敗なのさ。
ヒクソンかよ。
Daru ignores my perfect retort.
フェイリスタンが公式大会に出ないのが残念だよ。出れば優勝間違いなしなのに。
なんで出ないんだ？
この店のご主人様たちを第一に考えてるってことっしょ。店に迷惑をかけてまで大会には出ないってスタンス。それにマユシと同い年だから学校も行かなきゃいけないだろうし。
店に迷惑かけないと言っておきながらフェイリス杯なるものを店で開くのか？
細けいことはいいんだよ。とりあえずフェイリスタンは可愛い。可愛いは正義。猫耳ロリメイドはけしからん。性的な意味で。それで
お前は結局二次元派なのか三次元派なのか、どちらの
あえて言おう。バイであると。
I dare say I buy.
いろいろとフリーダムだな。ダルは
よく言われます。さあせん。
Daru usually doesn't show enthusiasm for anything. The exceptions are Moe and Ferris. I wish he were this passionate about our experiments. I had to pull Daru away from Ferris so that we could return to the lab. We arrived to find it hotter than a sauna in hell. Ferris, you're more perceptive than I thought, Nya. So now you understand what's at stake. The Red Southern Cross will soon hatch, Nya. The time has come for Ferris to journey to the sanctuary and prepare for... I can say no more, Nya. Impossible. You mean it's already awakening? It's 50 years earlier than I predicted. What does this mean? Okay, mail sent. And, of course, we are 15 minutes later than I expected. But you have to stop at a good time. So, there we go. Full camera des.